Hello everyone. Good day students. How are you? Okay, by the way guys and gals, I have here photos from this picture here, this one, another. Okay, it's just the same. So by the way guys and gals, what can you infer or describe this as a whole? Okay, I will give you 5 seconds to answer. So yes, of course, we can see it grows from baby to adult, or simply there, okay, generations. Generations meaning, okay, what's the meaning of generation? Meaning the production of something. The production of something in a period of time. Now guys, what do you think is our lesson for today? Since we talk all about the generations. So let's have the lesson 2, the generations of computer. For today class, thank you for being with me, and I hope that everyone will listen and comprehend the lesson 2. So let's start. We have here a quote from one of the most popular stars in the technology world, Mr. Bill Gates. Now, he said that the computer was born to solve problems that did not exist before. Now, we have here a trivia. The question is, who is the father of computing? Kinsa kaya guys? So, kinsa man siya class? Okay, remember? Charles Babbage. Okay? Ano siya si Charles Babbage class? Okay, ano siya ang father of computing or father of computer? We have here another trivia. Okay, we have here another trivia. Did you know that? Okay, Don Engelbart invented the first computer mouse in around 1964, which was made of wood. So, inani siya class, so ano siya, made of wood lang ato ang first mouse, first ever computer mouse. Okay, so for our objectives for this lesson, okay, now at the end of the lesson, you should be able to, or you students will be able to first, okay, differentiate the 5 generations of computer, identify the different characteristics in each generation, and appreciate the evolution of computer. Okay, before anything else, let's have knowledge about these basic terms. Okay, the first one, blank is an electronic device that controls the flow of electrons in a vacuum. Sabit or used as a switch, amplifier, or display screen in many older model radios. Radios are televisions and computers, or etc. Okay, saan siya guys? This is it refers to a vacuum tube. Okay, naniyahang okay, picture guys. Okay, na siya yung aura. Let's proceed to the next term. Now, blank is an electronic component that can be used as an amplifier or as a switch. So, pwede siya amplifier or switch. That is called the transistors. So, yun na siya guys. It is used to control the flow of electricity in radios, televisions, computers, and etc. Okay, now let's have the basic term number 3. Blank is a small electronic circuit printed on a chip, usually made of silicon, that contains many of its own circuit elements. Example of this one are diodes, resistors, etc., including transistors guys. This is what we call the IC or the integrated circuit. Okay, mani siya iyahang picture. Now let's have number 4. basic term number 4. Blank is an electronic component held on an integrated circuit that contains a computer's central processing unit or the CPU and other associated circuits. So, saan siya? This is what they call the microprocessor. Okay, inanihang image. So, inside that is the central processing unit. It is often referred to as a brain or the brain of computer or the engine of computer where most of the processing or operations takes place. It is what we call the central processing unit. It is a part of microprocessor, guys. Next, we have Blank is a low-level programming language comprised of a collection of binary digits such as ones and zeros. So, kana makita ninyo guys na 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, and so on. Ano siya yung natawag na binary digits? Ginagamit siya as a machine language. Okay, nani ang output guys. So, mula siya ang mabasa sa ato ang computer. Okay, let's proceed to the next basic term. Okay, what do you call this one? A physical device that is used to store data, information, and program in a computer. So, unsa man ni class? That is called the memory. Okay, memory. Yeah, picture it looks like this one. Next, we have here an area of computer science that deals with the simulation and creation of intelligent machines or intelligent behavior in computers. So what do you call this one? This is the artificial intelligence or the AI. Okay, they think, they learn, they work, and react like humans. So, ano siya ang mga AI? Now we have here another trivia. Okay, did you know that only about 10% of the world currency is physical money? The rest only exists on computers, like 90% e-money or electronic money. That's how powerful e-money class is. Okay, or the electronic money. Just like the coins, the nowadays such as Bitcoins, Gcash, Shopee coins, or sa pa ng mga coins ninyo dira. So that composes the e-money. Okay, so let's proceed to our main topic for this session. Okay, the classifications of generations of computer. So I want you to guess what generation is this one class. So it started from 1940s to 1950s. And nag-base sila class sa vacuum tube, or the main electronic component is the vacuum tube. Okay, ang ilang gamit na programming language is machine language. And it consumes a lot of electricity and generate a lot of heat. So, mas init siya guys, mas kusog iyang kaon sa kuryente. So, iyang speed and size very slow and very large in size, often taking up an entire room. And iyang pagi sa iyang pag-input, input and output is through punch cards and paper tape. So example for this are ENIAC, Univac, IBM 650, IBM 701, etc. So this compose the first generation. So nag-una siya guys. So sa first generation, inaniyahang computer. So inaniyang ato ang computer in the first generation. Wala na ito ninaaptan. It's because it's between 1940s to 1950s. So, timan-an ninyo guys, ang first generation, ang yaha is through the vacuum tube, yahang base. Again, unsa ganito ang first generation base? The vacuum tube. Okay, so, another trivia, did you know that the first electronic computer ENIAC weighed more than 27 tons and took up 1/8 square feet. So, inani siya kadako. So, meron siya isa ka room, guys. Sa classrooman. So, inanakabugat ang mga computer na itong mga panahon. So, let's proceed with the next generation, the second generation. So, this one, okay, it started from 1950s to 1960s. So, 10 years. The main electronic component is the transistor. So, kung kadagdain na is vacuum tube, the second generation component is the transistors. Okay? So, ang iyang programming language is through the assembly language. And in comparison with the first generation computers, so mas low iyang power consumption, okay, and generated less heat. So, dili na kayo siya init as compared to the first generation, guys. And iyang speed, syempre, ma-improve po iyang speed. And, of course, the reliability in comparison with the first generation again. So, kung ato ikumpara, guys, mas na siya, i-improve ang second generation. Of course, syempre, ma-upgrade man dyan na. So, ang young input and output devices, guys, they use the punch cards and magnetic tape still. So, example for this one is the IBM 1401, IBM 7090, and 7094, and so with the UNIVAC 1107. So, that's for the example of the generation 2. Okay, so let's proceed with the third generation class. So, it started from 1960s to 1970s. So again, 10 years lang yapon yung handout. So, the main electronic component of the third generation is the integrated circuits or ICs. Okay, and the programming language, guys, so mas higher level na siya. Okay, ang gamit niya is on the third generation is Fortran, Basic, Pascal, COBOL or C. Okay, mga C language, COBOL language, just like that. And etc. Okay, so next is the size of the third generation. So, smaller siya, cheaper, and more efficient than the second generation. So, compare na po ta. So, dago-dago ang first generation kaysa second generation. Mas bigamay pa dyan siya pag-abot sa third generation. So, smaller, cheaper, and more efficient than the second generation computers. They were called mini computers. And of course, yung speed, guys, improve po siya and much reliable in comparison with the second generation computers. So, yung gamit na input o output devices, still magnetic tape, keyboard, so na siya keyboard, monitor, printer, so na siya yung monitor, itong yagi wala po na. Okay, so yung examples, IBM 360, IBM 370, PDP-11, UNIVAC 1108. So, yun yung picture class. So, again, tani siya, guys, is the ICs. So kung katong first generation atong gamit is vacuum tube, second generation transistor, ang third generation class uses the integrated circuits. So, yun nani. Before we proceed to our fourth generation class, let's differentiate the RAM and the ROM, or the random access memory and the read-only memory or ROM. Okay, so mani siya ang sa RAM, guys. Kanipod ang ROM. Let's differentiate. So, ang RAM, guys, temporary lang siya. Then, ang ROM is permanent. Okay, permanent storage. Then, ang RAM, it stores in MBs, so megabytes, and the ROM is GBs or gigabytes. Okay, RAM is volatile and the room is non-volatile. And then ang RAM guys, it use the normal operation. Okay, mga normal operations lang siya. While the room is for startup processes sa computer. Okay, so writing data is faster. So dahil lang siya mag-process. While ang room is dugay siya mag-process. It's because it stores gigabytes. So that's it. Let's proceed with our next generation, the fourth generation. So it started 1970s to present. So the main electronic component of this generation is VLSI, meaning very large integration and microprocessor. So nagamit lang microprocessors. So ang VLSI guys, thousands of transistors on a single microchip. Okay. So yung memory is RAM, ROM, okay, etc. RAM meaning random access memory and ROM, okay, read-only memory. Okay, so ang programming language nato guys in this generation is high level na siya. So C#, Java, JavaScript, Python, etc. So yung size nagkaanam na siya kagamay comparison with the third generation. So mas efficient po siya. And then ang speed niya must improve, mas accurate o reliable. So ang yang input and output devices composed of keyboard, pointing devices, optical scanning, or printer. Okay, and then we have the network, a group of two or more computer systems linked together. So muna siya fourth generation. Apple second, Apple Macintosh. So let's have the last generation of computers, the present and the future. Okay, so ang yang main electronic component is AI na guys. So it uses ultra large scale integration technology and parallel processing. Okay, it uses two or more microprocessors to run tasks simultaneously. So timan-an ni guys ha, it can run tasks simultaneously. And yung language guys is human language na. Okay, upgraded na siya. It's because it can understand natural language. And ang yung pag-consume sa power is less na siya and generate less heat. Guys, sa mga computers so yung ginagamit na karon is it belongs to the fifth generation. By the way class, including cell phones guys ha, so cell phones classified also as a computer. So yeah, speed is, it has a remarkable improvement of speed, accuracy, and reliability in comparison with the fourth generation of computers. And iyang size is very portable and small, okay, and have a huge storage capacity. So nagkanang og kadako ang mga gigabytes na ma-store niya guys. So iyang input and output, okay, it composes the keyboard, the monitor, the mouse, trackpad, touchpad, touchscreen, pen, speech input, it recognizes the voice or speech. Okay, light scanner, the printer. Okay, so that composes the fifth generation. Lighter, comfortable to use. Next. So we have here the summary. Okay. We have here on the first column, the generations of computer, the generations timeline, the evolving hardware. I want you guys to think of these boxes here. I want you to recall the generations timeline, the evolving hardware. So on the first generation class, okay, that is from 1940s to 1950s. And the evolving hardware, okay, ang gamit niya is vacuum tube. Okay, on the second generation class, from generations 1950s to 1960s. And ang iyang evolving hardware is transistor. Okay? Transistor-based na siya, class. And then the third generation, we have from 1960s to 1970s. Sa iyang evolving hardware, integrated circuits. Okay? Mga ICs. IC-based na siya. And then the fourth generation from 1970 to the present. And sa iyang mga evolving hardware, ano na siya? Upgraded microprocessor based. So, nganong present na ni siya, class? Ang fourth generation naga-exist yapon siya, pero some are displaced na lang kay hindi na kayo siya ginagamit. Okay? And last generation, the fifth generation, the present and the future. So, iyang evolving hardware ani guys, sa ito, the artificial intelligence or the AI. Okay, it can read human language. That's it for the classifications of generations of computer from first generation, second, third, fourth, and fifth generation. So another trivia guys before we end up, did you know that the HP, the Microsoft, the Apple have one very interesting thing in common? Kaya sa kato, they were all started in a garage. So we have here the some kind of reflection. Okay, I want you to reflect guys, what will happen okay without technology or computers? Do you think it is possible? So without technology, there would be no social media, no Facebook, no Google, no classroom, no online classroom, so walang mga ganun. So another thing that would happen if technology never existed is that we would lack the ability to instantly communicate. So wala tayong mga GC with our family, with our friends, with our teachers, with our classmates, and of course, no online class. Okay, simply you cannot enroll to any courses. Okay, sa mga gusto ninyo na course without technology, without the aid of technology. So very important or very vital dyan ang atong technology nowadays, especially in this pandemic. So that ends my presentation on the lesson 2 of generations of computers. So technology is just growing and growing, class. So advances in technology have led to the development of many computing devices, okay, that we use especially today in our online class. So pasalamat yung tagda ko sa atong technology guys. It's because without this one, okay, walay posible nga estudyante o mga teachers. So that would be all, class. Okay, God bless and continue to answer our questions.